All right, everybody. Sorry, we got some technical issues here. It took a second, but let's get started. You're on Bucs Live.
Get ready.
Get ready. It's time for Bucs Live.
Bucs Live.
Bucs Live.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers talk with Rick Hughes and David Whitecarver.
This is
Bucs Live.
Let's Go.
Let's go.
Let's go. It's time for Bucs Live. I'm excited. I think gets me pumped up. My name is Rick Hughes. I'm one of your hosts. I am here with dazzling David Whitescarver. How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm doing exceptional. And yourself, Rick?
I am doing well. Guys, we are here on, we're on our own platforms for Bucs Live. We're here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We're all over the place. We are also here with Bucs Report on all of the Bucs Report website, I mean, all the Facebook, or I'm sorry, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch for Bucs Report. We're all over the place. It's going to be a fun night. We got a lot to talk about. Playoff football. Some games have already taken place, and there's a little one we want to talk about tomorrow that I think we're going to get into. Dave, how you feeling tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm eagerly anticipating tomorrow night. The Bucks are playing with house money as far as I'm concerned, and they're at home. And Dak Prescott's turned into an interception machine, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, he has, and I mean, I'm well. We'll get into that game in just a moment. There's a lot to cover. Real quick, let's talk about the games that have already taken place. Perhaps you saw the game last night. Perhaps you stayed.
Which one, Rick? Was it? Which one are you referring to?
The only one from last night.
I turned that Jags thing off. It was it was a wipeout by the Chargers. It was 27-0. I just went and played Parcheesi after that.
There's certain things you can count on. You can count on the Chargers being the Chargers every year. You can count on
the Vikings being the Vikings.
Being the Vikings. That is exactly correct. Dave, I believe multiple times this year during the season, I've told you, oh, yeah, Vikings look great. Just wait till the playoffs. We had that conversation multiple times. And once again.
Well, the G-men from New York deserve a great amount of credit. They came out ready to play. You had a coach, and he was coaching in his first playoff game. And look what the Giants did. They just the Vikings were chasing the game pretty much the whole way. They tied it up early in the fourth quarter, but New York came to play, and they beat the Vikings.
Well, I don't know if you remember from days gone by. Excuse me, but we may be visited. It won't be tonight, I don't think. I mean, I never know, but I don't think it'll be tonight. But I'm sure at some point the Jackass Giants fan will be popping back in to.
I thought he retired.
Exactly how he feels. Wish he'd retire. But hey, Christopher Cole. Hey, Edwin Hernandez. Let's go Bucs. I'm excited about this game. It's playoff time, guys. The season's over. The season is over. Please stop asking to fire the best offensive coordinator this team has ever had.
They were pretty good the last couple of years. I guess he got dumb this year.
Yeah, apparently all of a sudden he forgot how to coach. I don't know. But guys, don't stop looking for Ryan Jensen to be the answer. Stop looking for, who's going to be the next head coach. Stop looking for all these other answers. Look, they're going to dance with who brought them. This is our team. Okay. There are possibilities. You move Hainsey to left guard. There are possibilities. Jensen can play some. Don't expect him to play all game. He'll probably get, dip his toe in the water and play some. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know.
If Gadecki starts, though, that makes me a bit nervous that you've got the Dallas Cowboys. You're going to put a lot of pressure on Brady, and you got to protect him. So he's going to be throwing the ball quicker than he wants to, and certainly that he's done in the last couple of games.
Yeah, and there's a good shot. Gedeke is going to be the
okay. How do you pronounce it?
Gedeke.
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 Okay, kind of like Meineke with the cars.
Yes, exactly.
People.
Exactly. But we'll see what happens. I think now San Francisco looking like San Francisco and doing what they do, what they're doing this year, and man, the Dolphins almost pulled off. They almost pulled off. Amazing.
Skylar Thompson.
Yeah,
he did. His agent's happy now.
Yeah, no joke. You can't help but say if Tua was in there, they would have beat the Bills. So the Bills all of a sudden become, somewhat questionable. Although it was a division game and those tend to be close.
Well,
guys,
for a month now, I've been saying the Bengals are going to be coming out of the AFC again, going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you have. Yes, you have.
And I don't think they're going to lose this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah, the Kansas City game, that's not going to be easy, or Buffalo, whoever they play. We'll see what happens. Do we know they're playing? Do we know what's going on with that, or how it's going to play itself out? Somebody in chat will know. Christopher Cole will know.
It's the highest seed play. They reseed after the wild card weekend.
Super wild card.
So that it goes down that way. We just have to take a look at the ramifications of it all.
Okay. I'm thinking, look, okay, so if Cincinnati wins, the highest remaining seed is Kansas City, correct? Weren't they the number one seed?
They're the number one, correct.
Okay. So if Kansas City is the number one seed, then Kansas City would play, if it's Buffalo, Kansas City, say Cincinnati wins tonight. Be Buffalo, Cincinnati, City, and the Jaguars. So Kansas City would play the Jaguars. Buffalo would play the Bengals.
In Buffalo. It's a little cold this time of year up in Buffalo.
No, that's not what I'm thinking. I'm remembering the last Buffalo-Cincinnati game. When a game that never happened.
Yeah. That unfortunate
Would they really play
situation.
that in Buffalo? Would they really do that? That's not the game that would. What they should have done is said, if that game takes place, and it looks like it's gonna, if that game were to take place, that should be on a neutral field, not the AFC Championship.
Well, they were looking at the rankings. They were saying theoretically the Bills could have been the number one seed. So if that game had been played and they'd won, they were looking at it from that perspective. I'm not necessarily agreeing with any of the way they handled it. I just think this gets unnecessarily complicated, and all you do is just take a coin flip and flip it. And be done with it.
Yeah.
And not have that nonsense that if the Ravens had beaten the Bengals, then, it was a coin flip for the playoff game this week. It's like, come on, really?
Yeah.
Seriously? It's not that complicated, folks. You guys get into these committees and you make things a lot more complicated.
Just call that game a tie and then play accordingly.
That would be too simple. The committee had to look at it from every perspective.
They got corporate on us.
Pretty
they complicated it unnecessarily.
Call it a tie.
Huh. Well, enough about the rest of the league. Enough about that. How about we talk about the Bucs game? What do you say? You think we should maybe talk about that game just a little bit?
Well, I discovered something over the weekend. I know who I want to be the next long-term Bucs quarterback, but I don't think that would happen.
Oh, no. Who's that?
Trevor Lawrence.
Well, thanks. Yeah, that he deserves some props, doesn't he?
You can only dream. Well, not for that first half, but the kid came back. He's only 1 year removed from the Urban Meyer debacle, and apparently all you needed was a good coach and some time, and here you go.
Yeah.
1 season removed from the Urban Meyer debacle.
Anything that makes Urban Meyer look bad, I think it makes you and I pretty happy.
I still can't believe they brought him back to announce college games, but I digress away from the task at hand tomorrow night.
Controversy will bring viewers. Controversy will bring viewers. So,
well, we've uttered Urban Meyer, so there you go.
Yeah. the viewers should come in pretty soon, right? All right. So, Bucs Cowboys. Bucs Cowboys. Let's talk about it. Expectations, realistic expectations, dreams. We got all of it going on right now. Bucs fans, I want you to be excited. We're in the playoffs, and there is no reason. Let me say this. We'll get into whether we think the Buccaneers are going to win or not. We'll get into that in a little bit. But right now, I want to say this. There's no reason they can't win. All right. This is not a game that you look at like, I don't know, like I'll be honest with you. When I looked at the Bills-Dolphins game, I didn't think the Dolphins had much of a shot. I mean,
third string quarterback. We got Tom Brady.
Yeah. The Bills played a really kind of not one of their better games, and the Dolphins played their played their lights out, and the Dolphins still couldn't quite get them.
Do you want to hear an inspiring statistic if you're a Buck fan?
Always.
In the last two games, the Dallas Cowboys have scored a grand total of 33 points. In the last game, they only scored 6. So they're coming off. The offense is not clicking. As I mentioned earlier, Dak Prescott's turned into an interception machine. You can count on at least one in the first half. So the Dolphins, the Bucs, if the Bucs come out and they play their defense and they shut them down or at least make it hard for them, and it all comes down to, can you give Brady that extra half second? If you can give him that extra half second, then I think the Bucs, they can pull this thing out.
Yeah, there's no reason to say this game's out of reach. There's no reason to feel like, I don't think they can. That this seems like too much. Now, am I saying they're gonna win? We'll get into that a little bit later. We'll get into predictions in just a little.
Don't bet the house.
Don't. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But we're gonna dig into some specifics. We're going to get into the Bucs defense versus the Cowboys offense in about 10, 15 seconds right after this. All right. Bucs defense versus the Cowboys offense. Thoughts in general. My thoughts in general. I'm not terrified of Dak Prescott. I think this is where you see the Bucs defense play good football. This is where you see them step it up. I think I don't think this is going to be, where they shut the Cowboys down. I don't think it's going to be like that. Dave, is it okay if I steal a prediction from you? And
why, of course, Rick. We've known each other since first grade.
I think, as you put it, I think you predicted a game earlier this year. I think it was the Panthers game. Bucs are probably going to fall behind right at the beginning of the game. Everybody's going to freak out. Twitter's going to have Todd Bowles fired and Byron Leftwich fired by halftime. I think it'll start slow. And then I think the Bucs will pick it up. And as Dave, you put it, I'm stealing your thunder. It'll be dogfight at the end. That's defensively, when it comes to defense versus their offense, that's what I see. So what I'm saying is I think Dallas will start well offensively. And as the game goes along, that will start to fall apart. That's my guess. First drive, I don't know what it is with the Bucs. The Bucs tend to give up a touchdown on the first drive. every game, every single stinking game, the Bucs tend to give up at least 3 points, usually a touchdown. And I don't think that means I don't think that means the game's over. I hear a lot of people say things like, we got to come out strong. We got to run the ball well. We got to do this. We got to do that. Guys, there's a lot of ways to get to victory and a lot of ways to get to defeat in this game. I don't think we know what's going to happen. I'd love to sit here and act like, oh, yeah, we're all experts. You'll get the experts. Tune into other shows where they act like they know exactly everything. I don't. Not on this one. This game is going to be tight in certain ways. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, I mean, I think the NFL, I've mentioned this before, the NFL must be thrilled. Their goal is parity. They want to spread the wealth around. They want it to be on any given Sunday, and it's truly lived up to that, except for the Seahawks game against the Niners. And even there, the Seahawks had a 1-point lead at halftime in San Francisco. So, in the games today, the Vikings lost by a touchdown, but they had the ball driving, giving it a shot. So, I mean, none of these games get out of hand. They always seem to come back to the last-second field goal, overtime or something, going back to last year. So I think there's not a lot of difference in talent. And quite frankly, the pressure is going to be on the Cowboys in the second half. They're expected to win. They're the team that had 12 wins. And they're the team who hasn't been able to deliver on offense in the last few weeks. They haven't been clicking at all.
That's what I want to hear about you. I want to hear from you about is the Buccaneers defense and versus the Cowboys offense. What do you see? How's it going to go down?
Well, I think you can pretty much count on Dak Prescott with at least one turnover. And I think it'll happen in the first half. And then we'll see and go from there. The Cowboys, they are the ones with all the pressure, and I think they're going to buckle. I mean, Dak Prescott has done it before. I won't go into exactly what was said about him after last year's playoff debacle, but there's a fine line in the NFL in winning, and even finer line when it comes down to the playoffs. And I think Dak Prescott has shown that he buckles under the pressure, and I think that'll happen again. And I'm excited about where the Bucs are coming from, and I think the defense, they'll probably get off to their usual slow start, like you were saying. But as you get to that fourth quarter, the Bucs, let's not forget, they're 2 years removed from winning a Super Bowl, and they're 1 year removed from having the best record in franchise history. So from my perspective, they've got the mentality of a champion, and Dallas does not. They have exactly the opposite when you look at their recent history.
Okay. We're going to get into this in a second. Now I'm going to flip to the offense, Buccaneers offense, and because I think this is the key to the entire game. Right, the defense is going to play fine. All right, this is the key to the entire game, guys. It comes down to the Bucs offense versus the Cowboys defense, and here's where it all comes down. In my eyes, guys, this is where the whole game, the whole difference turns. This is where the victor, one way or the other, is going to come out. If Tom Brady stands in the pocket, allows routes to develop, and delivers the pass, the offense will be productive. If Tom Brady gets rid of the ball in under 2 seconds, that means plays can't develop and the Buccaneers are in trouble. What I'm telling you is this, with all the injuries, with everything going on, is Jensen coming back and playing some snaps, not playing some snaps, is who's hurt, who's not hurt, what's happening on the offensive line. The entire game turns on the offensive line. You've had Donovan Smith playing with a hyperextended elbow all season. You've had so many injuries along that line, and everybody blaming Byron Leftwich. And, I mean, there's so much that's happening. The entire game turns on the offensive line and what happens there. If Brady can stand in the pocket and allow routes to develop, everything changes for this team. That's how I see it. Dave.
But I'll be frank, it's a huge if, especially if Mr. Gadecki is Did I get that right? I didn't get that right. But
You got a key.
if Mr.
Everybody says-
G doesn't,
Yeah.
he's got to play out of his mind. The offensive line have to come up with that extra half second. If they come up with that extra half second, the Dallas Cowboys, one thing they can do is they put pressure on the quarterback and they have a ferocious rush. So there, you are absolutely correct. That's where the game comes down to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if both teams didn't even hit 20 on as far as points scored tomorrow night. And I think it'll come down to a field goal, a play, or something to turn the game. But I like the Bucs' chances. And
Well,
3 weeks ago, I didn't.
okay, when we come back, let's get into specific predictions. Okay, let's get a little more. Let's get a little more into the detail here, and let's get into specific predictions and what we think's going to happen. Let's put our, let's put it on the line. Just a second. We'll be right back. All righty. Dave, would you like the honors? You want me to go first?
You go first.
All right. Look, I'm going to make a prediction, and I think Dave and I are going to part ways just a little bit on this, but I'm not sure. So one of us may look like we know what we're talking about. We don't. But you never know.
But listen to us anyway.
Right. So I think going into the fourth quarter, maybe the Cowboys are up by 3. Maybe it's about a tie right around there. I think by the end of the game, the Bucs, let's say the Bucs are up by 3 points. They get the ball, 4 minutes left. The Bucs take it down, drive. The game ends with about a 7 to 10 point. I'll just say 7 to 10. Bucs win by 7 to 10. And I believe that they're going to have a plan on how to use the offensive linemen, and we don't know it. But I think our fear with this team, I have it. I think Dave has it. Some of the fans out there that I've talked to, you guys have it. Our fear is this offense and so predictable and does this, blah, blah, blah. Our fear is all based. Let me say this. 90% of the problem on this team is because Tom Brady gets rid of the ball too quickly because he's afraid of getting hit because he doesn't have the recovery time and he's older than Methuselah and blah, blah, blah. So let me say this, guys. Now listen to this entire thing. Don't cut me off and don't go, oh my God, what is he saying? Until you hear the whole thing. I think if, let's say, the Bucs had Derek Carr at quarterback this year, they would have won more games. All right. Am I saying Derek Carr is a better quarterback? No. I'm saying this. I'm saying Derek Carr would have stood in the pocket, taken the hits, done what was necessary. Tom Brady doesn't play for regular season. He doesn't care about regular season. He cares about the postseason. So I think he plays conservative in the regular season. He's like a turtle sticking his head back in the shell, just saying, okay, whatever, we'll live to play another day. It doesn't matter. Long as we were on top of the division, Brady was going to play it safe. The moment we had a game that mattered, like a playoff game, that Panthers game, look at what happened. All right. This game matters. So Tom Brady's back. Tom Brady's in postseason, the only season he cares about. Make no mistake. It's the only season he cares about. Now Brady's back. Now you're going to see the Brady that we've all loved. Now you're going to see the team that we saw previously. And you know how the Bucs averaged 31 points previously in the last 2 years? Guess what, guys? This game, the Bucs scored 31. Dave?
Rick, we're going to part ways because I just don't see that extra half second happening, but I do see Tom Brady rising to the occasion. So if you're going to get specific about scores and that sort of thing, I'll get this specific. Ryan Suckup kicks a 34-yard field goal as time expires and the Bucs win 19-17, and I don't think either team breaks 20.
Nice. Okay. Now let me say this. I'm not saying that Brady gets an extra half second. I'm saying Brady's had that extra half second all season. He's gotten rid of the ball quickly before he got hit. I'm saying he'll have the same amount of time he had all year. It's just now he's going to use it. This may be Brady's last game in Tampa. I got feelings about that, but it's a long freaking off season, and we got to have something to talk about then. So we'll get into it then. Okay. But I think that Brady's just going to remember New Orleans, guys. Everybody stop and remember with me for just a second. Remember those Saints games when for the last couple of years, not this year, last couple of years that we lost during the regular season. We got swept during the regular season by the Saints. But when we played them in the postseason, what happened? All of a sudden, we won. Why? Because they were going after Brady like crazy in the regular season. And Brady got rid of the ball, playing scared. Yes, guys, I'm saying Tom Brady plays scared in the regular season. And then when the postseason...
He plays cautious. How about that?
Okay. And then when the postseason comes along, he plays to win at all costs. And that's where the difference lies. That's the Brady we're going to get. So I think the Bucs score 31. I think the Bucs give up maybe 23, 21, 23, something like that. So let's say the Bucs win 31-23. That's my guess of a final score. We'll see what happens. And then who's the Cowboys coach next year and all of that? I have no idea. We'll see. But guys, I don't believe for a moment that the same Tom Brady you see in the regular season is the Tom Brady you see in postseason. I just don't. I think this isn't the team. We are the healthiest we've been all year. The healthiest we've been all year. Guys, this defense is ready to go. Like everybody's pretty much back. Okay.
Well, except for the offensive line.
Defensively, everybody is back.
Oh, I'm just pointing out that we're the healthiest we've been all year except for the offensive line.
No, we're the healthiest we've been on the offensive line right now. Okay, Jensen's he's been practicing. I don't think, and I've gotten calls from people who think, oh my gosh, this is going to make a huge difference. Jensen's back. Dude hasn't played all year. Give him a minute. Okay. So I don't think he's going to come back in mid-season form when he hasn't played football since a year ago. So that I don't think is going to happen. But, get out there, get your feet in the water, and let's see what happens. One thing that I will say, Christopher Cole, just win, baby. Just win. And it's probably good that we're quoting the Raiders since, we'll get into Brady in the offseason later. What Edwin says here, and I like this, I'm going to say that Brady will hold the ball a little more and let the play develop and bombs away. I agree completely. You're going to see Mike Evans more involved. You're going to see Chris Godwin involved. And everybody, watch Julio Jones this week. This is my prediction. Watch Julio Jones this week. This is what it's all been leading up to. This is why they got the guy. They got him healthy. They haven't been playing him like crazy. They've been playing conservative. This is the perfect Julio Jones situation. Christopher Cole is correct. So is Edmund Hernandez. I'm afraid Jensen isn't ready yet. Christopher Cole, you are correct. I believe they have until Wednesday to activate him, but I will be surprised, guys. I think they're going to activate him before the game. He's been practicing all week. I think they're going to activate him before the game and get his feet wet. I do think that's going to happen. Yeah, there's no reason to activate him right now before the game. Why would you do it? I think they can activate him on game day. Somebody let me know if I'm wrong about that, but I believe they can. I think they have until Wednesday to activate him. We'll see what happens. Guys, I am not I'm not one of those people who I don't pick the Bucs to win every game. I don't think that, I've been a fan since 1976. I'm pretty realistic. I know how to lose. I know how to deal with losing.
You're an expert. We're experts, man.
Exactly. So
we know what it is to say, wait till next season before the season even starts.
Right. That's correct. That is correct. Let's see what happens. But the defense being healthier than ever, than we've had all year, everything's just something. And guys, this is how I want to word it. And Dave, I know, has a lot to do, so we're not going to be able to be on real late tonight. But I want to say this. Something feels right about this game. Something feels good about this game. Sometimes you're going into a game and you're like, you hear all the talk, but something in your gut feels one way or the other. Something feels good about this game. Now, we said earlier, Chargers gonna Charger, Vikings gonna Viking,
Dak gonna Dak,
Cowboys gonna Cowboy. Okay, so
Dak gonna Dak.
Yes, so I honestly think, guys, this is not a team that's won a playoff game. I don't know. I think since before Tom Brady played, Tom Brady 7-0 against the Cowboys. Something about this game feels right. Something about this game feels good. Then we got to, I think, face San Francisco. Yeah, that's another story. But something
Let's
about
just
this
get
game.
through tomorrow. We have next week to talk about that.
Oh, no, wait. Hold on. No. The Giants would play San Francisco next week, wouldn't they?
No, the Giants, they were a wild card, so there will be the lower seed compared to the Bucs. So they're going to,
Philadelphia is the number one seed.
Philadelphia's number one. They play the lowest seed. So that would be the Giants, a wild card team.
Okay, Philly
and the
Giants
Bucs are going to Frisco.
That's interesting.
If they win.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe the Cowboys. Well, no, and then you got to start looking at. Hold on. The Cowboys are the 5th seed. Giants are the 6th. So if the Cowboys win, they go to Philadelphia, and the Giants go to the Niners. But if the Bucs win, it's the Bucs going to the Niners, and the Bucs. The Bucs are going. Their Bucs are going to Frisco.
Okay, so Bucs going to Frisco. The
Giants will play the Eagles if the Cowboys win.
Right. Okay.
The winner of tomorrow night's game goes to San Francisco.
There you go. That's that.
Got the math done.
We're smart.
Just give us a minute.
Right. So, guys, there's a lot to be excited about. You better freaking be excited. You better stop with the fire Byron stuff. And whenever you hear people ripping on Byron Leftwich, stop. He's the best offensive coordinator this team has ever had. Okay? Ever. So who cares if we're in a losing record? So? I mean,
3 straight years to the playoffs, 1 Super Bowl, and the best record in the history of the franchise.
Never gone 3 straight years, I don't believe.
And back-to-back division championships. Bottom line, that's what they are. That's what happened.
Back-to-back for the first time ever, back-to-back division championships.
And you want to fire the guy.
3 in a row.
With a banged-up offensive line all year. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, come on. And let's face it, a quarterback who's playing cautious, I believe he said. No, guys, this is it. This is it. This is our team. This is who we got. All right. Now, whatever's going to happen in the off season, we'll deal with at the time. I don't feel like digging into it now. I don't feel like getting into that now because I got a freaking playoff game tomorrow night. We're on Monday Night Football for all the marbles to continue or not continue. I mean, the Bucs are going to run out on that field with the greatest quarterback in the history of the game up against the Dallas freaking Cowboys with the star on their helmet on a Monday night. On a Monday night. How can Bucs fans be complaining about anything? Anything. I saw fans on Twitter complaining that there were stands set up in Tampa selling Cowboys jerseys because there's going to be quite a few Cowboys fans in the stands. So, I mean, guys, all I care about, we're in the freaking playoffs. I went so many freaking years where this didn't happen. To do it 3 years in a row, oh, man. That's awesome. And I got another guy. You know, I said, I did tell you, and I'm serious, guys, watch Julio Jones, okay? Watch Julio. When we come back, let's see. Next time you see me, make fun of me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But what are you going to do if I'm right? All right. I believe Julio's going to have a good game. I believe Mike Evans is going to have a game. Chris Godwin will be his usual awesome self. And, I mean, this is the game. Remember going into this year when we looked at all these receivers and said they can't cover everybody? Right now, they can't cover everybody. Okay? Julio is the healthiest he's been since game 1. Oh, by the way, that was against the Cowboys. Oh, by the way, it was probably Julio's best game. Okay? He had a big catch. So, guys, I'm telling you, if you look at this season and this season's record and you look at all of that, you're going to be more nervous. I say don't look at this season. Look at the Panthers game because that's when you hit what was like a playoff game, when you hit a game that mattered, all of a sudden everybody showed up. So watch what happens. And let me say this. That Dallas defense, this is why I think Dave's wrong. By the way, Dave, this would be a great segment. Why I think Dave's wrong. And then you say why. Maybe we'll do that. That's kind of a good idea for a segment. This is why I think Dave's wrong. Okay? There's no way that Cowboys defense is going to hold the Bucs to 19 points. I just don't see that. I just don't see it. Dave?
Well, Rick, one thing we haven't discussed, what these teams played during the regular season. It goes all the way back to September 11th. But what was the score in that game? Do you know?
No.
The Bucs went into Dallas and they won 19-3. So the 19s continue, but the Bucs do come away with a win.
Sure, 19 because you didn't need to score anymore. You were just running the clock out by that point. So, yeah, if Dallas had 16, it would have been different. But I hear you. One of us is going to be right.
I was all over and thought, and I was impressed with your Mike Evans pick. At the time, he had 3 touchdowns going into the Panther game, and he added 3 touchdowns, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So he doubled his output and hadn't had one since October.
How many touchdowns does Julio have?
Does Julio have?
Yeah. I think 1. Maybe 2. 2. Or was he the guy leading the team? No, that's Russell Gage was leading the team. Russell Gage had 3. Julio probably has 2.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's
Un
just
momento.
a guess. Yeah, uno momento. Tell you what, guys, we'll be back in like 8 seconds. All right. You got it, Dave?
Julio Jones has 2 touchdowns,
Yeah. All right. So Julio's got 2.
24 receptions,
say it? Am I gonna say
299
it?
yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Am I going to say it? I'm going to say it. Julio breaks 100 yards tomorrow and scores 2 more touchdowns. There.
You're such an optimist.
No, I think it's going to happen tomorrow. I think that's going to happen because they're going to.
We're not talking Mike Evans here. We're talking Julio.
Absolutely,
he's a threat to blow a tire at any point in time.
I think they have protected his health throughout the year. I think this is his game. This is his game.
I hope so.
I think it's set up for it.
I would rather you be right, by the way. Let the record state. I would rather the Bucs scored 31. I just don't think with Micah Parsons and company and the condition of the Bucs offensive line, I don't think they do. I think there's going to be a lot more field goals than there are touchdowns, but I think the Bucs defense keeps them in the game. And I think that the Cowboys are going to cowboy at the end and the Bucs are going to eke out a victory. That's what I see.
Yeah, I think that's going to be fun. I say 31-21 or 31-23 Bucs. I think that's what we have to look forward to, guys. Get pumped. Get excited. It is time, guys. It's time. Yeah, put your scores. What do you guys think the score is going to be? Last thing we're going to do here. Put your score predictions in the chat box. I want to see what you guys think the final score is going to be. Todd, I believe you're out there, Todd from Winter Park. I want to see what you think. Everybody put your scores in the chat box. By the way, everybody, we have a new, brand new YouTube channel. If you go to www.bucs.live, www.bucs.live, you will be able to find our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button so that we can get one of those fancy schmancy URLs like youtube.com/BucsLive. We need to get I think it's 100 subscribers. We just launched this thing. So if you put it out there. Oh, look at that. Edwin. Okay. 27-14, Edwin. Nice. And Lester says 24-21. That's a good score, Lester. I think we're going to. I just get the feeling Dallas, here's what's going to happen. Dave, you said it correctly. The pressure's on Dallas. And when things start to go bad, they're not the kind of team that's like this steady Eddie, intelligent, rock solid, consistent, you can count on them team. They're the kind of team that when things start going bad, they melt down. And that's what I think is going to happen. We'll see. Julio Jones.
That we can agree on.
Julio Jones, 2 touchdowns and 100 yards tomorrow.
That we can agree on.
Yeah. Watch, he doesn't even play. But no, we will see what happens. Christopher Cole says, I don't do predictions. Okay. So anyway,
focused on rooting for the Bucs.
Wait a minute now, Christopher. You just did right here. You said watch Tompkins.
He didn't say what about it though.
Edwin says watch Kate Otten.
I was thinking that. I think if the Bucs pull out the victory, I think Otten has a good game because that means that that Brady was clicking. That he even under pressure he was getting the ball to Otten, and I think if that happens, then I think that's a key to, and that'll give the Bucs an edge.
Is Brate, what about Brate? Is Brate just done? Are they just not going to play him, or is this where Brate shows up? See, I think this is a situation where I believe Brate's healthy again. I believe this is the kind of situation where all of a sudden you see Brate again. This is the way he's always been as a Buccaneer. Where all of a sudden you're like, well, Cameron Brate, I don't know. Well, Cameron Brate, and then all of a sudden these critical catches, very important catches. That's how Brate's always seems like he plays. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. Thank you for coming. Dave has to get back to work, actually. So, Dave, I want to thank you, as always, doing what you do. I want to thank.
It's a joy.
Sometimes. It was tonight. I want to say to Bucs Report, thank you for putting us on all of your platforms and allowing us to be a part of that family still. And I think we have got a fun game tomorrow. But right now, there's some more football going on. Dave, let's check the score on that. What is the score on tonight's game? Let's take a look here real quick. It is Bengals 3-0.
At the end of the first quarter, it's the Bengals 9-0.
9-0. Okay, I've got 3-0.
It literally just refreshed.
Okay.
So they must have
right,
been close to scoring at the end.
Yep, they did.
End of the quarter.
It's 14. The beginning of the second.
And
quarter,
I'm going to
14.
think it's going to be 10-0 as soon as they make the extra point, assuming that happens.
Yeah. Christopher Cole says the last time I predicted a score, they got destroyed. Okay. Well, so now you're superstitious about it. Yeah, it's all good.
Well,
all right,
make
guys.
a new prediction, and when it comes true, then you forget the
Then
old
you don't
one.
have to worry about that anymore. Listen, guys, we got a game tomorrow night. Everybody rest up. Everybody be ready. It's going to be a late night. Be ready to be ready to be late. Be ready to show up bleary-eyed to work on Tuesday. Be a part of the Bucs Report post game show. I'll probably hop on there and nap and say something. I don't know. We'll talk. But guys, I'm excited to say this Tuesday night. Dave and I will be back right here on Bucs Live, doing what we do on Bucs Live on all those platforms we've been talking about. Please, you know what? Just please go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel, because we need those people to get the fancy schmancy URL that makes it easier to follow. That's all I got. Dave, you got anything?
It's time.
It's
Bucs
time.
fans, let's bring it. Bucs, bring it, and let's make a trip to the California coast next week.
There you go. There you go. Brady back in San Francisco to exact his revenge. I kind of like that. It's a good storyline too. All right, guys. You know how we end this thing around here. There's one really, really, really good way to end, and we say it every week, and I mean this, guys, because the Bucs, I understand we've been fans, Dave and I, since 1976. Go Bucs! Go Bucs! Go Bucs!